I wanna have some fun.
Everybody wants to get down like that.
She say, do you love me? I tell her only partly. I only love my bed and my mama. I only love my bed and my mama.
Stamattina mi sono alzato, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Stamattina mi sono alzato e ho trovato l'invaso, oh partigiano, portami via, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Partigiano, portami via, che mi sento di morire.
Why don't you just treat me in the middle? I'm losing my
You said that we would always be. Without you, I feel lost at sea. Through the darkness, you'd hide with me. Like the wind, we'd be wild and free. You said you'd follow me anywhere. But your eyes tell me you won't be there. I gotta learn how to love without you. I gotta carry my cross without you. Stuck in the middle and I'm just about to figure it out without you. And I'm not sitting on without you. Like I'm going out without you. I'm gonna tear the city down without you. I'm going funny and fine without you.
Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River. Life is older, older than the trees, younger than the mountains, growing like a breeze. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home. Country roads. All my memories gather round her, miner's lady, stranger to blue water. Dark and dusty, painted on the sky, misty taste of moonshine, teardrop in my eye. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home. Country roads.
is a star that lights the road. Will it take me to the end? Well, I don't know. But for one last time, I'll take this ride and just drive. I wanna be the only one to make it to the light. I'll take it to the edge where I died 1,000 times. But maybe I could be the one right into the setting sun tonight. Just drive. Breathing out or breathing in. Broken down, but I will live to fight again. For one last time, I take this ride and just drive. I wanna be the only one to make it to the light. I'll take it to the edge where I died 1,000 times. But maybe I could be the one right into the setting sun tonight. Just drive. There is a star that lights the road. Will it take me to the end? Well, I don't know. I wanna be the only one to make it to the light. I'll take it to the edge where I died 1,000 times. Or maybe I could be the one right into the setting sun tonight. Just drive.
Good evening, race fans, and welcome once again to the rebooted Supreme Formula Racing Season 2 League. And we are at round 3 of the race of the current season, and we are here at the Red Bull Ring in Austria. This is very much a track that proves that sometimes the best things can come in small packages. It is the shortest and quickest track on the calendar, but it has only 10 corners, but almost all of them are tricky, very hard to navigate, and with not one, not two, but 3 DRS zones, overtaking should be aplenty. So we should have a very, very interesting race for you tonight. I am, of course, Lightshot16 once again here. I obviously missed Monaco last week, sadly, due to work commitments, but I believe I was comfortably subbed by my co-commentator today, Mr. BigWill.
Yes, it was a very interesting race.
Yeah, I'll bet it was. Yes, I did. I think I sort of watched it back in the background at some point, but I didn't get a full understanding of what happened. So just refresh my memory on give me the highlights of what happened last week, just so I've got an understanding of where we stand.
Yeah, I can't exactly remember either.
Oh, well, that helps. That helps.
Yeah. I can't actually remember.
Okay. No, that's fine.
I remember there was a few safety cars, but I can't remember.
There's a few safety cars. I do remember a very tight battle between Chris and Progeny for the lead, which Chris ended up getting the better of. And then behind them, it was basically all hell breaking loose with I believe it was TES Leclerc who got the podium position, but sadly I have already found out Leclerc is not racing tonight, sadly. Illness being cited as the reason for it, so we do hope you get better soon, Jamie. In his place, though, standing in the Williams seat is Jezza. So we do have a Williams driver on the board, although I don't know where his teammate VRL Schumacher is at the moment. Certainly hope he turns up. I get the feeling they might be pushing it another 5 minutes just to let other people join, which is fine. That's not a problem. But at the moment we have 16 so far. So no matter what, we will get the full qualifying format. The rule is we have to have at least 16, more than 15 drivers to do that quali format. And we have that. So we're good to go on that front at least. But yeah, we've got the two Mercedes of Cornish Pirate and TES Roland are both turned up. Roland, of course, is doing a fantastic job. Coming from the lower division, he's currently sitting, I believe he's sitting 5th place in the standings at the moment on 18 points. Only 2 points behind a proven race winner, Constant Ryan. So Roland is doing a fantastic job in that Mercedes. Would you agree? What would you make of that, Will?
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think it's a strong lineup for Mercedes. Obviously with Roland being so consistent and Cornish just being extremely quick, it's definitely a good pairing up between the two of them. So it's going to be great to see what the two of them can come up with for the rest of the season.
And then obviously the Ferraris, obviously their lead driver Sinful Chris, current championship leader, only by a solitary point, but with Leclerc not here tonight, it is a prime opportunity for Chris to extend that lead, while his teammate Sambo has only scored 2 points so far, but he is I'm sure he's got a fairly good chance of improving on that tonight. And then moving on to Red Bull, we've got BX making his first full-time appearance for the Red Bull side, joined by reserve driver Pushkar Xbox, so an all-Irish affair, I believe. Technically, I think Pushkar is also Indian as well, but I believe he's Irish as well. So it's an all Irish affair at Red Bull.
Yep, it definitely is. So it'll be interesting to see how they two coexist.
I thought we were starting, but it looks like they backed out for one reason. No. So I'm just thinking, the only drivers I know, so Redmond is not here, Schumacher's not here, Dom, we know, will be here, is just running late due to his internet. Gunhead can't make it, obviously. So Gunhead is the supposed to be BX's teammate at the Red Bull seat, but sadly cannot be here. That's why Pushkar is in the Red Bull in his place. So we're currently missing 3 drivers. We know one is on their way, and hopefully, maybe Redmond and Schumacher can make it too. We shall see. But we are about to get underway with qualifying for the Austrian Grand Prix. Oh, I couldn't have timed that better if I asked for it. So, what do you make of Austria, Will? I'm sure you've raced there quite a few times. Is it a good track for you? Is it a bad track?
It's actually a really good track for me. It's obviously, as you said,
Roll Hard Lad is here
on the calendar.
Jamie. Yeah, go. Sorry, carry on.
Oh no, it's the shortest track on the calendar, as you said, and extremely quick. So I definitely think it's an advantage to be at the front, but it's not always an advantage. And if you end up with damage here, it can be costly because the track's so short. You can end up being lapped quite easily. Yeah,
it's like I said in my intro. This very much is a track that could prove that good things can sometimes come in small packages, because this is the shortest track, but it's by no means the worst because of its length. That's probably not something you hear often, but it's true. But actually, technically, it isn't the shortest track. I think Monaco is technically shorter, but Austria is so much faster than Monaco that it's a much quicker lap time around here. Anyway, Q1 is now on the way.
More forgiven.
Absolutely,
Austria's
yes.
more forgiven as well.
Yeah. Yep. So Q1 is now underway. So we have 18 minutes. Only 15 drivers can progress. So the bottom 2 drivers, because we have 17, the 2 drivers at the bottom of the timesheets will be knocked out at the end of this session. We've got quite a few drivers. No one. Oh, I think I can see some movement in the Williams garage, which I presume is Jezza. So it looks as though Jezza, on his last race appearance on a pad, it should be noted, will be moving to the wheel after this race, according to his words.
Ooh.
So
BX has just said rain at the very end of the race.
I just spotted that as well. Now that could
that'll be interesting.
That'll be very interesting if that is true. I just need to change something just to make sure you're hearable. So if I just turn the master volume down a bit, you should be fine. Oh, back to the wheel. So Jezza was on the... No, we need to hear your beautiful Scottish voice. Apparently he was on the wheel, but went off of it and went onto a pad, so he's going back to the wheel, according to Roland. So thank you for that details. It'll be interesting to see if that will improve his consistency, because I think he would be the first to admit he does seem to spin a lot, does old Jezza. So it'll be interesting to see if that wheel can help his consistency a little bit. He is the first car out on track, although he's closely followed by, I believe it's the Toro Rosso of Rashi. It is. I'm just going to call him Rashi, because I think that was Z is supposed to mean 11. I might be wrong.
No, wait, X. I don't know. I think it's 9 Rashi 11 or something.
if it was 9,
IX,
it would be IX. Yeah. I don't know.
I thought it was. Oh no, I thought it was. It had IX.
No, if it's 9, it's the I before the X. If it's 11, it's the X before the I.
I'm not good with Roman
numerals. Yes. Yep. Got a message from Jamie T.S. Leclerc in the chat. Do not hurt his Williams. So, well, you heard him, Jezza. Look after that car, because I'm pretty sure Jamie will want it back next weekend. Where are we next weekend? I'm just going to have a quick look in the chat.
I think Jezza's actually invalidated his first lap, so
let's just put the track.
Run at it.
He has indeed. What other detail we'll put on the tyres that's been fitted? So Jezza's out on softs, Sebastian is out on softs, Rashi's out on softs as well. Rashi's invalidated his lap as well. Sebastian hasn't though, so I believe he will be the first driver to set a lap time. So he has obviously gone purple in sector 2 for obvious reasons. Just going to scroll up and see if I can find what the next race is, just so that we know what we're looking forward to next week. It will be Hungary, Monaco, Austria. It'll be Belgium next week. Ooh, that's my personal favourite track, so I'll be looking forward to that one next week. So, that's Sebastian 105.8, a solid lap time to get us underway. So that is the benchmark other drivers will have to aim for. I believe the next push car's out on a lap. Norris is on an out lap. Yeah, so he's going to be next.
Purple in sector 2.
Yeah, a purple sector 2 for the reserve driver coming in to replace TES Gunhead. As I said, it's an all-Irish affair at Red Bull this weekend, but it is their home race as well. So will Irish eyes be smiling on the Austrian team today? That's the question. And
fast.
That is a good lap time by Pushkar, 104.9. First man into the 104s. We've got a yellow flag in sector 1. I believe that is an Alfa Romeo staying out of the way. Is it, or has Norris lost it? No, it's Norris and he's lost it. He was on hard tyres and he spun out.
Yeah.
My apologies. Jezza does a 105.7 on his second attempt. So, it should also be noted that Pushkar and Jezza, being reserve drivers, will not be scoring constructors points for the car they're driving. So, it is only BX that will be scoring for those. If Schumacher does get in before the quali ends, he can race for the Williams team's points, but all in all, you'd have to say this is a very opportune weekend for Ferrari to distance themselves and for Chris to distance himself from Leclerc. But Stracker's also still in the mix on 33 points, only 4 points off of Chris. So Stracker's definitely within a shout of retaking the championship if things go his way. But he has been having connection issues recently that he himself is well aware of. So he will be hoping that they do not hamper his race. So who's coming round? I think there's an Alfa going around and a Ferrari. Norris sets a 26.1 because of his spin, and it's a 106.4 for Chris on the harder compound tyre. I don't think that's a terrible lap time for the hards, but Yeah, I think Chris maybe could go a little bit quicker.
That's 106.4 on the halves. That's actually pretty quick considering the 105s are set by softs, so it's not far off. Maybe 1.3 seconds, which
the question is
quick
how would
for
it? Question is how is it compared to Pushkar ahead of him? As BX does a 108.8 on 0.2 on the same tyre. So yeah, maybe it was a quick time by Chris. Maybe I was a bit harsh in my judgment of him, which I apologise for. But you know, sometimes you have to be like that.
Yeah, some constructive. I wouldn't say constructive criticism. I would just say some balancing of the field, shall we say?
According to Jamie and T.S. Leclerc in the chat, Pushkar is full-time Williams driver from next week onwards. So he will be stepping in VRL Schumacher's shoes. And looking at his pace, that could be a bit of a terrifying little team for Williams there.
Yep.
Pushkar and Jamie could be a very title contender worthy team. So I think Ferrari might want to use this weekend to get as far ahead as they can. Because from next week it could be a bit of a different story. We've got yellow flag in sector 2. It's a slow moving Renault, which I believe is roll hard. As Harrison does a 105.1 on the softs in the racing point. Not had the best of starts, Harrison. Said as Progeny 104.7. Wow, shut me up right away. Well done, Progeny. He is known as a very good qualifier, so he's proving himself once again to hold that as another Irishman. We've got 3 Irish drivers, I believe, on the grid this weekend: Progeny, Pushkar, and BX. Unless there's another Irish driver that I have missed, but I don't think there's any others.
No, I think you're right. There's only 3. I'm just watching Rashi. He's coming around to start his lap, but he's got a car just in front of him.
Yes, he has the Alfa Romeo. I believe it's Norris ahead of him. Because Constant Ryan is still in pits, but Norris gets out of the way kindly. So Rashi is free to set the lap time that he wishes to do. He's on the soft, so we've got some interesting calls here. Everyone's either going on to softs or they're doing hard runs. No one's ventured out on the medium tyre just yet. I'd imagine they might be saving that for Q2.
Yeah, I definitely think it's going to be a Q2 for mediums, but I'm not too sure about the hards, because obviously you want to be in the top 15, and I think the people on the hards are going to be fighting for a place come the end of the session.
Absolutely. Yellow flag set to 2. So I think it's Norris going very slow again.
Yeah.
In fact, he's almost come to a standstill. I presume he's just getting... Is he staying out of the way of drivers? I could assume that's the case. We've got yellow flag set to 1 as well. That's a slow-moving Renault of... I believe it's roll hard. Yes, it is. So people just staying very cautious and keeping out of the way of everyone, which is... Well, I'm just wondering, has he run out of fuel? He's moving very slow. No, I don't think so. I think he's alright. I think he's just going...
red fuel light, but...
Norris, on the other hand, I think could be out of fuel. Norris could be.
Yeah, I think he is.
Yeah, I think he's definitely out of fuel, because there's no reason for him to be going that slow right now, unless he was out of fuel.
Actually, I think Rollhard is out of fuel because he's in the highest mode for ERS.
Yeah.
So I think he is out of fuel.
So while we were looking at those two getting out of the way, Sebastian has improved his lap time. He's now on a 105.5. Rashi has done a 105.6. Jezza, I believe, has also improved, 105.7. Grimdog has set a 105.8. So we've got a nice little cluster of drivers there in the mid to high 105. So that could be a little interesting to see maybe who gets through Q2 and who doesn't late on. Still a couple drivers yet to set lap times though, 6 to be totaled.
Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on TES Sambo because Chris is sitting 8th, but I think Chris will come back out on softs. Sambo's already out on softs and he's putting in purple sectors for 1 and 2, so we'll see exactly what he can do.
Sambo was one of the quicker qualifiers, definitely in the second division before the split. So Interesting to see what
Yep.
Sambo can do as he comes across the line. It's a 105.8, so
Yeah.
just on the back of that little gaggle of cars that I was on about, Rashi, Grimdog, Jezza. I think there might be a little more to come
Yep.
from Sambo, but not a terrible time by any means.
I think he lost time in the last corner, well, the second last corner, because I think Norris was on the inside and he tried to avoid him. He couldn't take the racing line to the inside.
Yeah, it could be. Meanwhile, Stracker R11 is just coming around the final corner on a set of hard tyres. As he comes across the line, he does a 106.5 on those tyres, so just off of Chris's pace on the same tyre. So not a bad lap time at all by Stracker. Very much in the championship hunt, obviously winning the first race in where was it again? Hungary.
Yep.
Oh god, my memory. Roland's out there on a lap. Constant Ryan is on an out lap. So Cornish Pirate will be in a bit. I think Cornish Pirate will be the only drivers who have not set a time. As Roland's coming around, he's set a purple sector too, apparently, according to my screen. So Roland's on a bit of a good run of form at the moment. Let's see if he can continue that. This is effectively the closest thing he has to it. Oh, he's gone very wide there. I think the lap's still going to count though. It does. It's a 105.8, but I think he will have lost maybe a couple tenths there at most.
Yeah.
I was just saying, this is effectively until, well, what was supposed to be happening this year. This was effectively the closest thing Roland had to a home Grand Prix.
Yep.
That was supposed to change this year, but sadly, real life events that we're not allowed to talk about got.
Yep. In the way.
TES have a new driver. Okay. Yes, and we do need to remind you that while the screen that you're watching does still say coming soon, we do actually have a YouTube account now. We do have the Supreme Formula Racing YouTube account. Sadly, we need 100 subs to get a custom URL for it. So sadly, we can't actually promote it just yet. Excuse me. But hopefully, in the coming days, the subs will increase and we will hopefully get YouTube. But if you do want to find us on YouTube, it is literally the channel is called Supreme Formula Racing. I believe the Monaco race is already up, and I think the Hungary one will be uploaded at some point as well. And this
Constant Ryan's just slipped into fourth.
He has 105.1, so the fast times are looking pretty, and Harrison's improved to 104.8 as well, so he's gone up to second, pushing Pushkar down to third. But yeah, this race as well will be uploaded as soon as it ends. So Jamie will handle that, which is good of him to do. Anyway, who else is out there? BX is on a flyer, currently sitting 15th and on the drop zone, but he sets a lap time of 105.2. That's much safer for BX now.
Yep.
So
I think this is going to be the nitty-gritty bit where everyone starts coming out and pushing
absolutely
for laps on the softs.
Yep, just over 4 minutes to go. Everyone except Cornish Pirate has set a lap time. Just check what they've set them on. Everyone Sambo upwards has set their lap times on softs. So Chris, Stracker, Matt 45, Roll Hard and Norris still yet to take to these soft tyres, at least for a fast lap yet. But I think Roll Hard is changing that. Yes, he is. As is Matt 45, so they're both out there. So it'll be interesting to see where they can slot themselves in this grid on the faster tyre. Because they are currently sitting 14th and 15th, so they do need to get a good lap time in now to put other people under pressure.
Oh, Jezza spun.
Oh no, hang on. Well, Harrison's retired. I presume that's just because he thinks he's safe. And Jezza has spun on the final corner. He stays out of the Red Bull's way, but the Red Bull's coming to the pits anyway. That's unfortunate for Jezza, but he has been on those softs a couple laps now. Maybe he thinks he's safe. I don't know what he's doing. Anyway, I'm going to go back on board with Roll Hard, lad, as he's just coming through the penultimate corner now. Ooh, almost Tokyo drifting it around there in the Renault car as he comes around the final corner. Matt 45 is not far behind. So where does Roll Hard start himself? He puts himself 4th place. Good lap. 105.1. A very good lap by Roll Hard. Now what about Matt? As he comes through the final corner, opens the DRS flap. He goes 6th for 105.2. The top times are looking very, very close. BX thinks he's safe in 7th. Got yellow flags in, well, pretty much everywhere at the moment. I don't know why there's one in Sector 1. Oh wait, I do see now there's a spinning Toro Rosso somewhere, I think. Oh no, it's Straka coming out of the pits. That's weird. I just saw the yellow flag.
Grimdog's just starting his lap.
He is. So Grimdog currently sitting at 11th place, so probably does need a good lap to ensure that he'll be safely through. Remember, only 2 drivers are coming out. Now, what about Cornish Pirate? He's still in the pits. Well, I do see a Mercedes coming down now. No, that's a Williams. Is Cornish Pirate not going out? Oh no, he's just coming out now. So, Cornish Pirate is leaving it right to the last moment here. The track will be at its grippiest, but he hasn't done any sighting laps, so this will be an interesting one to keep your eye on for definite there. Sebastian's on a lap. Sebastian 247 currently sitting 9th. What about Grimdog? Did he improve on his lap time? Or is he still going around? He's just set a purple Sector 2 on my screen.
Yep. He has, yep. Oh, Matt's retired.
I think that's probably him thinking he's safely through. And to be honest, I wouldn't dispute that. So we'll go stay on board with Grimdog as he comes around the final course. Straka's just started his flyer. As Grimdog crosses the line, doesn't improve. Ooh, that could put him under pressure. Roland has retired as well, which is interesting because I don't think Roland is particularly safe right now.
No.
If Sambo improves, he definitely won't be. But Sambo did invalidate.
From Grimdog down.
Grimdog, even Rashi, I wouldn't say is 100% safe. Well, I don't. I think Sebastian is safe because Roland and Rashi are out. So, but everyone, Sebastian down, needs to get a good lap in here. So, speaking of which, Norris is no. That's I was looking at the wrong Alfa Romeo. I thought he was coming around the final corner. But there is a Mercedes coming around. It is Cornish Pirate just starting his flying lap. He's left it with only 30 seconds to go, and Sambo's right behind him, and having invalidated his first run, will be going again. Meanwhile, Straka's just come around the final corner as well. Where can Straka put himself among the top guys? Puts himself 6th for 105.1. So he's right in there with everyone else. The times are looking very close indeed. Now Grimdog will be crossing his fingers a bit here because he hasn't been able to improve. And meanwhile, Simple Chris tops them all with a 104.6. There's a reason he is championship leader, and I think that's the reason right there. Sheer pace like that is hard to come by. So at the moment,
didn't improve.
It is down to Sambo and Cornish Pirate. I think Grimdog is going to be okay, because yes, as you say, Norris didn't improve, so Grimdog is safe. But now it's a case of what can the Mercedes and Ferrari do? As Cornish Pirate always had a little bit of understeer going into that corner, but he's still... Oh no, he's completely messed the corner up. And sadly, my fears were justified. I did have a feeling his lack of sighting laps was going to hurt him. And there you go.
Sambo improves.
Sambo did improve as well, but Cornish Pirate cutting the chicane right at the last corner. Invalidated his lap time. It wouldn't have been a quick lap anyway because of the way he took it. So it is TS Norris and Cornish Pirate that will be knocked out in this early Q1 session. Ooh.
Yeah, I believe what you said, Mark, was a bit true because he didn't go out for I think that's what most people on the hards were doing, just doing a bit of a banker lap just to figure out how the track felt, and then they came out in the softs. And because Cornish didn't do that, he left it until the last minute. He kind of left himself open to
and
not being able to set a lap.
I don't think that can be listed. I think that kind of has to go down as a bit of a surprise, considering Cornish Pirate was in the higher division before the split. I think that has to go down as a bit of a shock because, I don't think he would have been quite. I don't think he would have been quickest, but I definitely think he could have been easily within the 105s. So, yeah, that is a surprise to see him fall so early. But yeah, prepare to fail. Fail. How does it go? Fail to prepare, prepare to fail. That's it.
Yeah.
Yep. I almost forgot the analogy. But yes, Cornish Pirate didn't do his laps. Maybe didn't have time to do his laps. I don't know. We don't know the full story with him. But he is out. And along with TES Norris, who just never quite looked comfortable with his Alpha. And they are the two first fallers as we move on to Q2. Roland's telling me Belgium and Germany are actually closer to the Netherlands. Fair enough. I apologise. I do sincerely apologise. So if you are enjoying the action, don't forget to like us on Facebook at Supreme Formula Racing and on the Twitter as well. We do have a YouTube page, as I mentioned earlier. And yes,
I do agree.
And as Jamie has just said, massive thank you to everyone who has helped me and Will getting SFR to where it is today.
Yeah, it's been
who's TES Hamilton?
But a really good one.
Who is TES Hamilton? Because he's just messaged, I'm back, watch this space. I'm afraid, because of your name, I already hate you. I'm only joking, of course.
This must be the new driver that Jamie was talking about.
Yes, I think someone did mention, yeah, TES have a new driver. He did mention that. Norris saying he's just here to make the numbers up. I'm sorry to hear that. I really hope things turn your way one day, Norris, because you're a good lad, and you are. I think there's a good driver in you, and I do hope it does change. Your fortunes do change eventually. But we must move on. Q2 is underway. Rashi is the one leading them out this time, followed very closely by Sebastian. They're right in the midfield, these two, so it'll be interesting to see if even get into Q3. Yes?
I shall go quiet for a few seconds because my battery needs changed.
Okay, no problem. I will see you in a moment then. According to Cornish Pirate, starting last was planned from the start. Well, fair enough, if you say so. I will choose to believe you. Anyway, so Rashi's out. Let's have a look at the tyres that people are putting on. So Rashi's out on mediums, as is Sebastian. We've got Hards going on BX, Hards on Stracker as well. Jez is out on softs, Pushkar's out on softs. Harrison and Constant Rhyme both out on a set of softs. There's quite a mixture of tyre strategies going on here. I think there may be still some Void getting right into turn one. That is a fair point. I'd like to think we could trust everyone in our leagues, though. That wouldn't happen, but I'm aware that things like that can happen. As Dom has got into the race, so good to see Dom here. I'm not sure what car he will end up in, but TES Dom is with us, which is good to see. Who's TES Hamilton? Get in there, Lewis. Like I said, I already hate you. I only kid, of
Cornish
course.
said starting last was planned from the start.
Yes, I did notice that.
They don't manage to get it.
Avoid getting wrecked into. It says he avoids getting wrecked into turn one. Well, like I said, I will choose to believe him. We'll see how his race goes for him.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Rashi is out on track. What does he set? 106.4 on the medium tyres, and Sebastian 106.6 on the same compound. So Harrison 106.8 on the softs. That's interesting. We've seen him go a lot quicker than that before. So perhaps backed out of the lap, as BX is a 106.5 on hards. Constant Ryan 108.7 on softs. So maybe these are just sighter laps for those two. Perhaps expecting to get through to Q3. Maybe just testing out the softs to see what they're like. I don't know. Interesting. But Harrison is pushing again. Oh no, he's not. He's charging. I take it back.
Oh, Jezza spun again.
Oh, Jezza.
Yeah, he was doing a bit of grass cutting going into turn one. Oh, he's done it again.
Oh God. I didn't know they hired him as a lawnmower.
Yeah.
I think this, and meanwhile, Jamie is probably internally screaming.
Yep.
To see his beautiful Williams without its right end.
Jez, stop it. Yeah.
Oh dear. Meanwhile, Stracker's done a 106.5 right behind PX. So they're both on the same sort of pace. Oh, I've got the giggles now. I need to stop.
Yep.
Please stop. You fucking bloody bastards. I will say one thing, that practice lap showed me that your setups are... Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. So apparently Cornish Pirate is using my setups. Stop screaming. You're welcome, Cornish Pirate. I mean, my setups are okay. I think my setups are alright. I think you could probably find better, but hey, use what you want. I suppose it is free choice. Anyway, have you had any more laps? Matt 45's done another 106.5 on the hard, so very close times between BX, Matt, and Straka.
Progeny's just started his lap. I think, yeah, he has. He's just started his lap.
He set a fastest first sector
pretty well. Yeah, he's taking the corners really well.
Let's be interested to see if he finishes the lap time, because don't forget, you have to start on whatever tire you qualify this session in. The top guys may well think about whether they can get through on the medium tyres. Because
I think it's that question of speed versus position.
Yeah, the only thing is, this being such a short track, it might be a bit tricky because the slower guys might still be able to set fairly competitive lap times in comparison. And Bull Project has not held back. 104.7 pretty much matched his time from Q1. So he's not held back. So clearly his intention is to qualify on the softs. Which is, well, it could be the right move. We don't know. Meanwhile, who's out there as well? We've got Pushcars come out on an out lap. I think the other McLaren, Sebastian, has just started a lap.
Yep.
On the same set of mediums, I believe, actually. Ferrari's just coming out of the pit, stays out of the way. I believe that is Sambo coming out on a set of mediums. The Renault Rollhards lads out there on a set of hard. So apparently there's a purple sector for Sebastian, but he's gone very wide from sector 2. Or I think that's technically turn 3. Even though turn 2 isn't really a turn on this track, but yeah, we currently have 15 people watching, so yeah, I do hope you're enjoying it, and thank you very much for the support, regardless of wherever you came from. You know, whether you came from the advertising, I know my usual Twitch page is hosting, so if you're from there, do thank you very much for watching. Even so, yeah, we've got a good group of viewers there. Oh, it's gone down to 40. I've chased someone away, clearly. Meanwhile, 6.3 for Sebastian. He's improved on his medium time.
Yeah.
Pips ahead of Savashi, but he
wonder if they. I definitely wonder if they two want McLaren. Obviously, McLaren 1-2 would be really good for them, but I think the Ferraris are going to have something to say about that.
I think, obviously, if you consider also the way the drivers are split when the season was rebooted, I honestly think 1-2s will be very, very rare to see. I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible, as Jezza pops himself into 105.3. Yeah. I'm not saying it's impossible. Sebastian could pull out a really great lap from somewhere, but I don't expect to see many 1-2s in the season. I mean, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll happily hold my hands up and say I'm wrong, but that's just my opinion on that. He gets out the Ferrari's way of Sambo. Sambo is on a fast lap, so let's go on board with that Ferrari as he's coming towards the penultimate corner on the mediums as well. So
yeah.
Go on.
No, I was going to say, Chris, we did not need to know that. That's information you can
taking a shit. We'll be back in moment. That's a very, very Kimmy thing to say. It's a 106.5 for Sambo on the mediums, so a couple of attempts off of Sebastian, and yet 5 places off of him. So that just goes to show you how close the field is.
Yep.
Yeah, thanks for the info.
Yeah, Chris.
Came from Q1. Oh dear. If you are interested,
I'm actually.
Go
on. No, I was just going to say I'm actually interested to see what Pushkar's going to put in, but he's run out of fuel, and he's not set a lap, so he must have invalidated his lap time. He must
have set just enough fuel in for one lap and invalidated it, but he's got enough time for another run at it, so. That's a good thing about this track, because it's so short. There's very little chance of you running out of time for a run unless you're really pushing it. So
Yep.
Kimmy, you missed the presentation from Pele. I was having a shit. That's very much Chris right now. That's who he's channeling.
Yep.
In that Ferrari, definitely. Anyway, we got a Haas setting a flying lap on the medium tyres. This comes around the corner. So he was on a 106.5 on the hards. What does Matt 45 do on the mediums? No, nothing. He doesn't improve. So he must have made a mistake somewhere. Stracker's out there on mediums as is BX. So yeah, Ronan is the next car on mediums as well. So let's see what the Mercedes can do. Had a good run of form. Let's see where he qualifies here. Only 9. Oh, that's not a particularly quick lap time on the medium. 106.7. 2 tenths off of Sambo. Nearly 2 tenths anyway.
I think he missed the inside apex on the last corner, so it kind of.
BX is coming around the final corner. Ooh, 105.9. That's the best medium time we've had so far. 4 tenths clear of Sebastian.
Yep.
Solid time by BX. Very solid time indeed. Stracker's coming around as well though, but I think this is to start a fly lap. Who else? Matt 45. Has he gone again? I think he's pushing, but I can't quite tell what.
Yeah, he's pushing.
Let's have a look. He does improve 105.9, only just off of BX. So good lap time by Matt 45. Well done. Meanwhile, Constant Ryan has just gone onto a lap with Rollhard Lad very slow in sector 2. It's Grimdog that's behind Constant Ryan. My apologies. It's always hard to get that right. So currently in the drop zone with 3.5 minutes to go is Constant Ryan, Rollhard Lad, Pushcar Xbox, Sinful Chris and Grimdog, but none of them have set particularly representative times yet. Neither has Harrison, who is out there on the mediums as well. Chris is leaving this. I think Chris might be leaving this. It might be doing a Cornish Pirate in Q1 and leaving this right to the very end. The question is, will that cost him the same way it did Cornish though?
I think it's a little bit different for Chris because obviously he was in Q1, ran a few laps, so he's. Well, I mean,
but one mistake, one mistake though, and
yeah,
it's all down the drain for Chris. So that's the only thing. You put a lot of pressure on yourself if you leave your runs like this late like this.
Yeah.
Chris needs to finish his pit stop soon. Yeah, he has done so, and he's coming out. Have we had any lap times? We've got an Alfa Romeo crossing the line. It's Constant Ryan. He didn't improve on his time by much, so perhaps was warming up for another lap. I'm not sure because that wasn't a particularly quick lap time by the Alfa. Harrison's on a lap behind him. Grimdog set a 106.8 on the medium, so he's going to have to improve if he's going to get out of Q2. Meanwhile, Jezza doesn't improve on his lap time in the Williams, stays second. Now our driver's coming out for another run. They do have time. I don't think Stracker's going to have time for another run. BX is retired, so he thinks he's safe on a 105.9, or maybe he just doesn't want to qualify on the softs. 104.7 for Pushcar. That's a very good lap.
Yep.
Very fractionally off of his Rollhard. 10th, 106.5 on the mediums. Not a particularly quick time from him either. And he's not going to have, unless he saves up his ERS a lot, he's not going to have enough time for another lap. So
he's not got enough fuel either.
I think we're gonna have some shock eliminations from Q2 here. I honestly think we do because Constant Ryan isn't far ahead. He hasn't improved. Still only 10th, 106.4. He did improve. I apologise, but not by a lot. I'm not quite sure what's going on here, but Chris is on the lap. Matt 45 is on an out lap as well, right behind him. Slow Red Bull of Pushcar keeping out of Chris's way. Good to see. There's an absolute clusterfuck at turn 3. What's going on there? I just saw a McLaren, a Mercedes, an Alfa and a Renault all bunched up. I don't know what's going on there. I think Rollhard's out of fuel. So that's happened. Grimdog has retired, so he is definitely out of Q2. So he clearly doesn't think he can go faster. What about Chris, though? On the medium tyres, what can he do? Oh, good lap. 105.6 up, but mind you, look at Harrison's lap time on the mediums, 105.3. Where on earth has that come from? Where on earth has that 105.3? Constant Ryan's in the
He's run out of
drops.
fuel as well.
That means Constant Ryan, I think, is going to be eliminated.
Oh no, he's still got fuel. But he's not.
No, he's not pushing. He's not pushing. He's not pushing. He is out. Constant Ryan, the winner of the Russian Grand Prix, is out of Q2. He is 11th. Is anyone going to change that? Yes, they are.
Well,
Sambo's just gone third. 105.3, a fantastic lap by Sambo. The track has really ramped up all of a sudden. And that puts Zarashi in the drop zone, but he is on a lap. He's just got... I think he just made the checkered flag in time. Oh, Sebastian was on a lap as well, but he has made an error at turn 3. And he's had to get out Sambo... Well, Sambo's not on a lap, but yeah, he made an error. And sadly, I think that's his qualifying done. Meanwhile, Stracker... Who just did... No, Matt 45 just went on a set of softs, 105.3. That really puts it in perspective. That was an impressive time by Sambo. He's mixing it with Division 1 drivers. Very impressive.
Yep. His qualifying's got better and better and better. I think I'm on board.
Roland's improved as well.
Huge mistake.
Roland's into Q3, I think.
Oh,
who else? Rashi's into Q3 as well. 105.3 for him. The times are starting to increase, and Sebastian, I think that's it. So BX has been pushed out, and Sinful Chris only just scraped through into Q3. Only by the skin of his teeth. If Sebastian hadn't messed his lap up, I think Chris could have been... Yeah, well, I don't know what's happened to Zambo there, but... Why is he 10th now?
He hit the back of Jessel.
Oh. Well, even so, I think that still would have been Chris going out there.
Jessel's qualified in P5 and Q2 on softs that are 4 laps old.
Oh dear. Oh dear. BX is out.
This is going to be bad.
So BX is out of Q2. That's a shock, definitely. I thought BX was going to be a top contender with the rest of them, but he has not made it. The track really did ramp up towards the end there. I think Sambo's been a bit screwed there.
Yeah, I think it's because his car crashed into the back of Jessel. I think that was an AI, and it's basically screwed him over and put him out of the race because he crashed his car.
Yeah. Well, the drivers we definitely know are out are BX, Sebastian 247, Constant Ryan is another big shot. Rollhard Lad, I think, is a bit of a surprise as well. He's usually a bit quicker than that. And Grimdog, 15th as well. So I think the surprise of the... I mean, look at Rashi up in 4th, 105.3. Yes, but then Sambo 105.3 as well. That track really got quick very suddenly, did there?
Yeah, it did. I knew this was going to be extremely close because this is usually a track everybody looks forward to.
What? Apparently, I've just had a look. Apparently, Sambo's was a bad term. Apparently, SAMBOS. Because I had to allow it. Okay.
Yeah, Jamie put Sambo's wheel came off. Yeah, it did. It hit the back of Jessel's.
Oh, Sambo will be absolutely livid at that because that's not fair at all. Because he wasn't even in control of his car.
Nope, he wasn't. It was after he crossed the finish line. His car didn't slow down. It hit the back of Jessel's volumes.
Yeah, because now it means he's pretty much relegated to starting 10th on those softs. And I honestly think he had a bit more than 10th place in him, especially with the guys like Rashi and Roland still in the mix as well. Oh, yeah, unlucky Grimdog. Yeah, it was going to be a tall order, but to be honest, the way the track was ramping up, I wouldn't have had anyone through to Q3 at the end of that. But we do have 9 drivers left. We have 2 Toro Rossos, 1 Williams, 1 Red Bull, 1 Haas, 1 McLaren, 1 Ferrari, 1 Mercedes, and 1 Racing Point. So it's only Renault and Alpha not being represented in the Q3 shootout, I believe.
Yep.
Yes, I'm right. Which is a shock. I honestly thought Constant Ryan was going to get through. I thought BX was going to get through as well, and Yeah, but BX is got a good position. He will be starting 11th place, so that is a good position to be starting in, nevertheless. So I don't think BX will be too disappointed. Yeah, Sambo has been absolutely screwed there. That is definitely not fair on Sambo, because he did an absolutely mega lap in qualifying, and his just reward is to be relegated to 10th no matter what happens now.
Yep. Can't even fight it, so
yeah, there's nothing you can do really. All I can do is offer my sympathies for the Ferrari driver, and don't give up. Your race, you never know what could happen in a race. It could still be a good race, so just keep your head up, Sambo. That's all I can say really. Grimdog screwed it twice. Sambo's been screwed there, yeah. Yeah, hashtag sort it out, Cody, as well. I don't know about that. Anyway.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
No, probably not. So, we are in the final, well, I suppose top 9 shootout now. So, who's going to be the first car to set a lap time? I think it's going to be Pushkar in the Red Bull.
Yeah,
now, he was right on the pace in Q2. He was literally only a fraction off of Bull Progeny. So, let's see what he can do as he comes around the final. Oh, he cut the final corner.
It's invalidated.
That's invalidated his time. Unlucky. Very unlucky. That's a very easy corner to mess up. So it's going to be Chris that sets the opening benchmark. 104.9. Now, we've seen him do better than that. And Harrison does better than that. 104.7.
Yep.
I think Chris had a bit more than that in him. But it's a good opening gambit. For definite. Stracker's on an outlap, as is Matt 45. I think it's going to be Jezza next round. As he comes around the final corner, he doesn't cut the chicane, thankfully. DRS opens up. 105.3 for Jezza. I think that's roughly what he did in Q2 as well. So, that's not a bad time by Jezza. I think it's next. Now it's going to be Bull Progeny. Now, keep an eye on Progeny. He is a master qualifier. It has to be said. He's been one of the most consistently higher qualifiers in the league. As he comes around the final corner, what can the McLaren do? Has to avoid the grass. 104.7 fractions off of Harrison. Only just. Chris and Pushkar are returning.
Yeah, it's going to be real close.
They're returning to the pit. So it'll be Matt 45, the next car to set a lap time.
Invalidated.
Oh, he's invalidated. What about Stracker behind him? He hasn't, so he's going on another lap. So Stracker comes around the final corner. What can Stracker do? Winner of the Hungarian Grand Prix. Where does he put himself here? 105.0. So puts himself 4th for now. So 3 tenths off of Harrison. Who was his teammate, it should be mentioned as well. They were teammates before the division split in the Alphas. So, interesting. So, very close between them. Who else is on a lap time? Is Progeny pushing again? No, I don't think he is. Roland's on an out lap, so he's gone a bit out of sequence with everyone else. A couple of people haven't even gone out. Rashi... Oh no, Matt 45 did go out. Rashi, I don't think did, though.
No, he's not been out yet.
So Rollhard in the chat saying he didn't want to start on softs and he screwed up his medium laps. Yeah, fair enough. If you want to avoid the softs, this could be one of those tracks to avoid the softs for definite. Although, in my memory, I've usually been okay running the softs here, but we'll see how that.
Yeah, the softs are not bad here. Actually, they don't degrade as fast.
So Cornish has become Roland's cheerleader, as has... We got massive cheers for Roland in the chat. We got a lot of support for the Dutch driver. Remember, he has been, I think even he would have to admit, punching above his weight so far in the championship. Currently sitting, I believe he's sitting 4th in the championship on 18 points? Or is it 5th? 4th or 5th? Let me have a double check. Just while Roland is completing his lap. He's currently sitting 5th place on 18 points and only 2 points behind Constant Ryan, who has already been eliminated from this qualifying session. Oh! Bit of a wobble. Oh, well held. Very well held by Roland. He's going to continue the lap, I'd imagine. As he comes around the penultimate corner. Now around the final corner. Now, what can Roland do? I can't remember what time. I think he did a 105.5 in the last session. 105.4, so he has done a very competitive lap time there. He's definitely in the mix, which is good to see for Roland. Very well done. So, Pushkar and Rashi are out there on flyers. Jezza, I think, is still out there. How many lap times has he done in his tyres? Too many again.
Yep.
roll hard, wanting to use the sauce near the end. It could be a good strategy. It has, well,
Yeah.
a lot of drivers did try getting through to it on the mediums. It didn't quite work out for BX or Constant Ryan either. Some made it through though. I think Chris, Stracker and Harrison made it through on the mediums. As I think Progeny committed to the soft, so I think it is only Harrison, Chris and Stracker that got through on the medium tyres. So it's only those three who's managed to get into the session. So those three are going to have a good advantage if they can get a good qualifying session in. Meanwhile, Roland is coming back into the pits. Progeny's on an out lap. We'll stay on board then with the Toro Rosso of Rashi, who has invalidated his lap, sadly.
Yeah, a little bit too wide, but he was actually running a really good lap. He got purple in sector 1, but Pushkar's just got purple in sector 2.
Well, let's see what Pushkar can do. He's got the pace. He invalidated his first run right at the end, so there might be a bit of wariness going into this final corner. But he takes it all right. On the power, DRS wide open. Where can Pushkar put himself? Put himself third. 104.9. Not a bad lap time. Now, will he have I think he should have enough time, if he's got the tyres left, to go back and put another set on. But does he have any tyres left is the question now.
Yeah.
And
This is extremely close.
Indeed. Chris is out there setting another lap time. Does he improve? He doesn't improve. But I think he's invalidated it, and I think he's starting another one fresh. Because his ERS is quite full. So Chris is going again. What about Progeny then? He's coming around the penultimate corner now. McLaren driver currently sitting second. Can he improve on that? As he comes around the final corner, what can Progeny do? Holy shit! The gauntlet has been laid down.
Yep.
And laid down in a big manner. I did say he was a good qualifier. There's your proof. 104.3. Blowing everyone else clean out of the water. There you go. There you go, lads. There's your time. There's your time. Go and chase it down. What else needs to be said? Well done, Progeny.
Yeah, nothing.
Now, can anyone match that? Or even get close to that? I think we've got a couple drivers who could. And it could also be... Commentators aren't supposed to cuss on air. Oh, fudge off.
Yeah, this is a little bit different talk.
Yeah. If you don't like swearing, you're in the wrong place, I'm afraid. And hello, Tar, by the way. How'd your LMP1 race go, by the way? Do give us a message in the chat. Let us know how it goes. We'll keep focus on the action as now. Matt 45 has started a flying lap, so we'll go on board with the Haas. Currently hasn't set one yet due to invalidation. In fact, I think he's invalidated this one as well. Because it's got a red showing up red for me. So yeah, he's backed off. So he will be saving his ERS for one final run at it. To quote my teammate, just shit ran out of luck.
Oh, Jezza's round again.
Jezza's gone again, has he? Oh dear.
It took turn 1 a bit too tight on the inside and spun the car. Rashi's on the lap though.
Sebastian has left the session. That's not good, especially with this close to the race. Do you want to see if you can get him back in?
I'll see if I can get man. Yep.
Yeah. You don't want to lose anyone this close to the race end. So Harrison's just come out. Whoa! Jez has had another wobble. He really struggles for traction. I think he'll be looking forward to going to the wheel.
There we go. See if we can get back in.
Meanwhile, who's next? I think Rashi's going to be the next driver to set a lap time. He hasn't invalidated his lap yet, so let's see what he can do as he comes around the penultimate corner. Now the final. What can Rashi do? I think Roland will be his target, but could he go a bit higher than that? Not quite. Oh, it's close though. 105.4. Fractionally off of Roland. That's goes to show how impressive Roland's time was though. It's not a bad time.
Yep.
Those two were very close in the second division before the split, and there you go, that proves it. Meanwhile, I think Jez is going around again. What about Stracker's? Stracker's going around as well. What can Stracker do? Can he improve? No, I think he's done a bit of ERS saving. He must have invalidated his lap. Same for Harrison behind. So it'd be interesting to see if Harrison gets any form of toe off of Straka, and if it could impede him in the corners. Because both of them, well, Harrison's on his first fly, Straka's had to go again by the look of it. Meanwhile, Matt 45 is just coming across. I think he invalidated again. He did. Does he have enough ERS to go for a lap again? I think Matt 45 could be in a bit of trouble here because he's been continuously invalidated as a lap. Leclerc's losing his mind at Jezza again. Hello. Oh, we got a TES Vettel in the chat as well. So, Jesus, Hamilton and Vettel here. We got.
I'm not saying it.
Jezza's gone again, is he? He's gone again! Yay! I think it should be one of those things. Whenever you go, yay!
I think I'll stay off Jezza during the race.
Yeah, I think so. Straka, meanwhile, as he comes around the final corner, what does he say? Doesn't improve. What about Harrison? He does improve. Just pips ahead of Pushkar, but it was very close between those two. But no one has got close to Progeny's. Oh, and Chris has gone wide. I just caught it. Pushing too hard. And he's gone wide and he's hit the barrier. And that is Chris's qualifying over.
Matt's coming up. Can he put a lap in?
He can. Oh,
he does.
Just manages to pit Roland and Matt. But Roland is coming around as well. So this could be interesting. Can Roland beat Matt 45? Let's see how he does. I think he's done some personal bests. As he comes around the final corner. Oh, no, he can't.
No,
he remains 8th fastest. And I think that is that. Bull Progeny has literally blown the competition away with a 104.3 compared to the next best Harrison, 104.5. What a lap time by Bull Progeny. And we've got a Forza Ferrari from the TES Vettel in the chat.
So we have a TES Vettel and TES Hamilton. Okay.
So
I'm changing mine to TES Verstappen.
I don't know what I'd be. I've no idea yet. I probably won't bother. Anyway, Bull Progeny has taken pole with Harrison second, Pushkar third. Chris spun on his final lap, but he still is fourth. Straka is fifth. Matt, is it Matt? No, Jezza is. Jezza is sixth. Yeah. Matt 45 seventh. Roland 8th, and Rashi rounds out the top 9 because Sambo was not even given the chance to compete in the top 10 due to shenanigans involving Codemasters. Apparently Roland did the exact same time on his second run. Apparently he set another 105.407. How did you work that out?
I think that's actually quite a good skill to have. Yeah,
that's some solid consistency you got there, Roland.
Consistent.
That is very consistent. So, well, that was definitely an interesting qualifying session, and Bull Progeny has proven again why he is one of, I still say he's one of the best qualifiers for definite in the league. There's no getting away from it. He seems to really gel with that McLaren more than he has any other car I've seen him racing.
Ooh.
So yeah, those clouds look very ominous.
Yep.
We have been told there may be some rain at some point in this race. So that'll definitely be something to keep your eye on.
Oh, we've got Third Dinner and Dom as well joining.
Third Dinner and Dom have got in as well. So it looks like we've got a 19-car grid then. Well, that's good to see. So let's
Sebastian didn't make it back in.
So I'm just going to do a very quick run through of the grid. So it is Bull Progeny sitting on pole position in the McLaren, but starting on the softs, whereas Harrison behind is starting on the medium tyres. Pushkar Xbox, the reserve driver racing for Red Bull, is in third on the softs. Chris and Straka sitting fourth and fifth on the medium tyres. Will their gamble pay off in the long run? Jezza, he's been all over the place, but he has qualified in an impressive 6th place, but he's on very worn softs. Matt 45 is 7th. Roland, a very impressive qualifying performance, 8th, and equally by Rashi as well in 9th position. Sambo, your heart has to bleed for him. Got through Q3, didn't even get the chance to compete. BX didn't quite manage to get through on the medium tyres. He starts 11th. Sebastian starts 12th. Constant Ryan, same as BX, not able to get through. He starts 13th. Rollhard and Grimdog, the two Renault drivers, starting 14th and 15th. Then you have TS Norris, lacking pace all weekend, hasn't been able to get on form. He starts 16th. Cornish Pirate left himself only one run in Q1. It wasn't enough. He starts 17th. And then we've got two later rivals joining tonight. It is Third Dinner and Dom. Dom has very luckily ended up in his right car, which is very good to start. It's good to see. And they will start 18th and 19th position. And, well, I think we've got a very, very good race lined up for us there.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to watch.
Oh, I do love doing that, but God, I have to. I don't know how Crofty does it.
Usually when Xbox Nuthead does it, I say he has a bottle of oxygen sitting next to him.
Maybe I should invest.
Yep.
So we've got a mixture of things going on here. By the looks of it, everyone outside of the top 10, BX, Sam, Sebastian, Constant Ryan, Rollhard, they're all looking to start on those mediums. And then we've got a lot of soft runners, but then we do have Harrison, Chris and Stracker, who managed to edge into the top 10 on the mediums. Didn't quite have the pace to take out Progeny in the end, but could their gamble pay off long run? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, as long as Progeny can get away from Harrison quite quickly, because obviously Harrison's not going to have the pace right at the start of the race, but I mean, if Progeny can pull away and get some distance between himself and Harrison holds up Pushcar, he may have a chance, but you know what the start of the Austrian Grand Prix is.
Oh
like.
It I know all too well. No.
Yep,
if something
never goes to plan.
If something could happen, it usually does. I've had a race where I literally only lasted one corner and then retired. So yeah, I know it can go very wrong here.
Yep.
So, any surprises? Anything you didn't expect to see, or any strong performances of the qualifying?
I would probably say I was kind of shocked to see it's obviously Grimdog and Rollhard and Constant Ryan and BX outside the top 10, but I mean, I think if Sambo had a chance for qualifying 3, I definitely think we could have seen a bit of a surprise there, because he's tended to be a bit better in qualifying now. So I mean, I think he could be a surprise during this race.
Well, we'll have to see. He is directly behind, I think, what he would class as his rivals, Roland and Rashi, behind him, but all on the same sort of tyres. But then he's got the medium runners directly behind him, so it's going to be a bit of pressure on Sambo. Like I said, I hope the race does go well for him, because he didn't deserve the treatment he got in qualifying. But yeah, place your bets. That's absolutely right, Vettel. Who knows what's going to happen? I think we are just about to get started, so I'm going to pose the question to you now, Will. Who's winning today?
I think I'm going to put my money on Simple Chris. I definitely think he's got the pace, and we know he's consistent. So,
okay. Well, for me, my money, I think he deserves a bit of a break at the moment. My money's on Bull Progeny. He very nearly won Monaco. The grid drop did hurt him in the end there, but he's free of that now. I think Progeny deserves a break, and I think this could be his race to really show what he can do. If he can get away well, I think he could really outsmart the medium runners behind him. But we are just about to go. We got 10 seconds to go before they start their formation lap. So, hope you're all ready as we begin preparation for the Austrian Grand Prix. And don't forget, there is a threat of rain in the air. So we're going round on the formation lap now. It's Bull Progeny leads them away. And obviously I will take this chance to say, if you are enjoying the racing, whether you're a member of the league or not, please do give the give the Twitch page a like. Do follow us for anything else we do. I think we do like driver draws now and again when the season begins. There may be other things we do as well. Who knows? I'm not sure. But we do, as well as the Twitch page, we also have a Twitter at SFR F1. We have a Facebook page, Supreme Formula Racing. That's where most of the information can be found regarding to penalties, tickets, and results. Although it does say coming soon, we do actually have a YouTube page. We have it's called Supreme Formula Racing, pretty much that. Unfortunately, we need at least 100 subscribers before we can get a custom URL. So until that happens, we'll have to remain as coming soon, because I don't think you want a complete URL where it will look hideous. But yeah, do support us there. And yeah, as Jamie says, there are other things in the works, so we will see how that progresses. And whether you're watching this through Supreme Formula Racing's page, or whether you're watching this through my own page, do stick around for the next 45 or so minutes, because I'm expecting a very exciting Grand Prix, and Progeny, they are just making their way back to the start line as the AI takes control of everyone. It will be Dom at the back. He will be the last car to slot in to the grid. So we've got, I think the only team that only has one car is Williams. Jezza is going it alone for the Williams team today. And there is the YouTube channel, yes. Good luck and break for the Seagulls, yes. Well said. So we are about to get underway, though. We have 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And it's go! We are underway at Austria. Bull Project's got a fantastic start. Oh, I think Pushkar is challenging Harrison around the outside. Has Harrison got it done? Yes, I think Harrison keeps it clean. Meanwhile, there's a yellow flag. What's happened at the back? There's carnage at the back. Sebastian's gone. Norris has gone. Rohard is in the barrier as well. Oh, there was carnage at the back, and the safety car is out already. We haven't even made one corner yet. Still good to post to raise YouTube after. Yeah, I should be able to. I'll just have to sign in elsewhere. But what the heck? We didn't even make past 2 corners, and we've already got a safety car deployed. Now, how is this going to change the game?
I think it was there was a tap from one of the Ferraris at the back, and Sebastian's McLaren went sideways and just got absolutely ploughed by most cars behind him. So yeah, I think some people are going to have wing changes right now.
So let's look at the position drop. So yeah, Sebastian and Rohard have really lost out there. Norris as well. Can't seem to catch a break, that guy. So everyone up from that, they've made up places. Cornish and Ferdinand and Dom have made up places. Rashi, this is an interesting call. Rashi and Sambo are coming into the pits, as is Ferdinand in the Haas. I don't know what he normally drives, but he's coming in as well. Who else is coming in? Sebastian and Rohard. Well, that's more obvious. It's mediums.
Sebastian has no damage.
Let's have a look at the tyres that's going on. Mediums going on Rashi. More softs. No, it's hard tyres going on Sambo. Another set of softs going on Third Dinner. Mediums for Sebastian and mediums for Rohard. So, there's some interesting strategies calls going on here.
Yep.
I mean, wow. I don't know what to make of this. Sambo's is a bit more.
I mean, the hards are...
It's a bit more obvious what Sambo's trying to do.
Yeah. Yeah, he's trying to run as far into the race as possible with the hards, but I mean, I don't think they're going to go 35 laps.
Ooh, that's definitely a tall ask.
Right enough.
It's a short track, and it also depends, I suppose, on how long the safety car stays out. I don't think it's going to stay out that long though, because everyone is pretty much recovered. What I find interesting is Norris, I don't think, is pit. I don't think he has damage at him. Does he? No, he doesn't.
No,
Norris,
he doesn't. Nope.
Somehow Norris escaped damage, so he has gained because of that, because a lot of drivers have pitted under the safety car. Let's have a look at... so Jez has made up some positions from that start. He's up to 4th position ahead of Chris. Matt 45's had a good start. He's ahead of Stracker. There's some other drivers coming into pits, is there? Because someone's dropped down. It's... Dom, actually... Someone dropped... Or am I just looking at something weird? Because I swear BX was in 10th.
No, he was 11th. He's gained 2 places.
Oh, I'm thinking... No, it's Sambo and Rashi. Them moving up has confused me.
Yeah.
I apologise. So remember...
the
the other thing to remember... Beastie NUFC has just pointed it out. We do have a threat of rain possibly at the end. So...
Yeah.
So Sambo's tyres may not need to go to the end of the race. It may... Depending on how early the rain comes... This could be an absolute masterclass played.
Yeah, the safety car could be holding off. Obviously, the longer it's out.
The longer it's out, the more likely the rain will.
Again.
Yeah, the more likely the rain will hit us. So yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Good spot by Beastie there. Thank you very much for that.
Yep.
So now the question is, will the safety car be coming in this out? I think it probably should be, but I'm not sure really. Yes, it is. Safety car is in this lap. So we've had a couple. We've had 5 drivers make pit stops. At least 2 of them were necessary. Sebastian and Rohard definitely had to stop. But we've had Rashi, Sambo, and Third Dinner come into pits as well. So it'll be interesting to see how their strategy plays out. Now we need to be careful because the restarts at Austria can be a bit tricky. Is Paul Progeny? Ooh, I think he's okay, but Progeny.
Oh, Jez is running.
Jez has gone. Oh no! Oh, everyone, and there's a Mercedes gone off as well. It's of Roland, and Roland's had a bit of a bad start there. He's dropped to 11th. What on earth happened there to Roland? I'm not sure, but we are underway again. And Harrison is sticking to that McLaren like glue. Well, he's trying to, but he's got Pushkar behind him as well. The soft runners. This will help the soft runners, I think, as well, because it means they've taken a bit less life out of their softs. I mean, it does mean the mediums can go a bit longer as well, but I think it's hard to say who this benefits, really. But Progeny is starting to pull away a little bit. He's just starting to find his form again.
Oh, that was close.
I just had a look.
Trying to make his way back up the field.
Yeah, he's trying to have a look at TES Norris. Or well, I think he got past Norris. Meanwhile, Third Dinner's past Sebastian on those set of softs that he pitted for. So just having a look. So there is action going on towards the back of the grid, and Rohard is just watching and waiting and see what happens here. But we have got a bit of a gaggle going there. As Paul Progeny sets the fastest lap of the race, a 108.1. He's still not out of DRS range yet, but of course remember DRS will not be activated until the first 2 laps after the safety car comes in. There's been more position changing. Third Dinner's now ahead of Norris. Jez has got past Sambo as well. Remember they're on Sambo's on those hard tyres, so he's on a much slower compound.
Jez has got damage.
He does, yes, you're right. On the left end plate, he does. You can see it, but it doesn't seem to be affecting him too much, as he's now all over the back of TES Dom. Meanwhile, Sambo is trying to hang in there on those hards, but at the moment, the soft runners of Jezza and Ferdinand. Meanwhile, Rohard lad has got past Pushkar and Chris up front.
They're side by
side. Oh, Pushkar puts him in the grass. Oh, just on board with that. Oh, that was a very, very close action. Chris almost came a cropper there, but he just managed to avoid it. And Matt 45's now having a look at him. And Matt 45's got the move on him because of the wobble he had. Or maybe a bit of grass on his wheels affecting his pace there. But Chris has conceded a position to Matt 45. The softs are working quite well at the moment, it has to be said. Because Pushkar's in 3rd. Matt 45's moved up to 4th position. And now Stracker's having a look at Chris as well, but he's got BX behind him. There's a big train of cars going on here, but Harrison and Progeny have detached themselves from the train. Meanwhile, is BX going to have a look? Oh! Stracker's had a look at Chris, though, and Chris has been forced wide. Very Verstappen Leclerc-like. And now DRS is open, but not for Stracker. Stracker got a problem with his DRS because it didn't open. And BX has passed him and is passing Chris, is he? But it's Chris got the outside line. Let's have a look on board with Stracker. I think BX has got the move done. Yes, he has. Has he? Yes, I think Chris is going to have to give that up. BX has made 2 moves in the space of a lap. Well done. I just want to have a look at Chris. Does he have any damage on his Ferrari? I don't think he does. But his pace seems a bit inconsistent at the moment, because he was challenging Pushkar and all of a sudden he looks a bit wobbly here, and Straka is coming past him. I think Chris must have a problem of some kind. There must be something wrong with that Ferrari, because his pace has just absolutely vanished. But he is trying to fight back on Straka as they come up the hill, and he has got the move back on Straka. I think a lack of DRS is possibly hurting Straka. I need to have a look, but he's gone very wide, and now Constant Ryan is going to have a look at him, is he? Yes, the Alfa Romeo is smelling blood. And they go side by side into the 4th corner. Oh, I think Straka just held on. But look at Grimdog on the soft tyres. Oh, but he's gone on the grass. Oh, careful Grimdog. Very careful there. Oh my God, I'm struggling to keep up. That was fantastic racing. Oh, I need to take a breath. Oh.
Yeah, there's just battling all over the track. Everywhere you look, cars are overtaken everywhere. It's
like a fight in a pub. It's kicking off everywhere.
Yep.
And I'll tell you what, Matt 45 is on a bit of form at the moment, because he's now all over the back of Pushkar. Something in that Haas seems to be working for him very nicely, as he's now closing in on the back of the Red Bull. A 3-second time penalty for Sinful Chris. I think time penalties are going to play a big factor towards the end of this Grand Prix. There's only a couple places where you can cut it, but it's very, very easy to do. So it'll be interesting to see. Meanwhile, I think there's some battling going on for 9th, 10th and 11th between the Mercedes and Grimdog. Grimdog's dropped off of Constant Ryan after initially challenging him, and Roland's got up. And meanwhile, Constant Ryan goes down the inside of Straka into 7th position. So now it's Straka all of a sudden that looks to have dropped off the pace a bit. It seems to be that their pace seems to fluctuate a little bit here and there. Because all of a sudden, Chris is back on BX's case.
I think it's the temperatures in the tyres. Obviously, if they spin or hit the grass or anything like that, the tyre temperatures are just going to go through the roof. And then they're going to lose so much grip. But it definitely looks like Chris has got his pace back now, because he's getting closer and closer to BX. His car and Matt are fighting.
Let's have a look then. Matt 45, has he got the move done? He has. And Matt 45 moves into a podium position, which, that's going to please the Rich Energy sponsors, Miles. Not that they sponsor them anymore, but but yeah, all of a sudden Pushkar's pace seems to have dropped, because look at Matt 45. He's roaring away from Pushkar. He seems to be. He's kept his tyres in better nick than the Red Bull has. And Pushkar now has his teammate behind. Meanwhile, at the back, there's squabbling going on between Sebastian and Norris. And Norris has been forced off track. And he's kept out the barriers at least. But
lost the back end.
Meanwhile,
Rashi. Lost the back end and clipped him.
Meanwhile, Rashi has just got past Rollhard Lad for 13th as well. Oh, and Rollhard, very nearly went into the gravel there as well. There's action going on all over the place. In fact, look at this freeway fight.
It's pretty hard.
Between Third Dinner, Grimdog and Cornish Pirate. Cornish Pirate's on those hards, remember. He's doing very well. And we've got a pit stop. It's Pushkar Xbox coming into the pits. What's going on? There's a set of medium tyres going on the Red Bull. So perhaps he had cooked his tyres a little too much. And where's he going to come out? He's going to come out. I think he's going to be close with him and Norris for last place. I think he's just going to be ahead of him. What's up?
Cornish holding up Third Dinner and Grimdog's helping Roland.
It is, because he's basically allowing Roland to get away on those soft tyres, which probably are going to fade away in a few laps though, but it is helping Roland defend from Third Dinner and Grimdog. It's as you said, there's some good teamwork going on. We got a yellow flag in Sector 2. I think it's Norris has spun again. It sadly is. Norris has had another spin at the third corner. It's just not working out for the Alfa Romeo driver. No damage, but he's plumb last at the moment and well off, sadly. Okay, I think it's calmed down a little bit now, but we still got Sebastian and Sambo fighting like crazy over 15th place. Sambo, remember, pitted on the first lap for a set of hard, so I mean theoretically he could get those to the end, but his pace hasn't been too rapid at the moment. But we have seen just how much time.
Catching up to his teammate.
We have seen just how much time Jez is in the pits. We have seen how much time Pushkar lost pitting. Cornish
and Roland have swapped.
They have, so perhaps Roland has conceded. Perhaps knowing that the hards are perhaps the better tyre at this point, he's given the place up. Meanwhile, Chris is on the back of BX90. He's going down the outside, trying to sweep round the outside. BX holds the inside line. I think BX holds him off. He does. Just holds him off. Only just though. Chris all of a sudden has come alive. And I have to be honest.
Reynolds will switch places as well.
I have to be honest, the softs seem to be working quite well at the moment. Bull Prodigy's got a 3-second gap to comparison. Matt 45's managed to pull well clear of BX and Chris. I don't think they've really lost out by qualifying on those softs. Meanwhile, there's some action going on. Verdun and Roland. Verdun has got the move on Roland, and that's because Roland is coming into the pits. So Roland had to take the inside line. That's why Verdun got the move done, and Roland is coming in. So what's Roland going on? It's a set of mediums. Oh, there's contact between Rashi and Grindal. I think Rashi's lost his end plate. Yes, he has. So Rashi's going to be struggling now with some wing damage. Currently in 12th, but I don't know how long he'll stay there. Oh, he's trying to go down the inside. Oh, very ballsy move. Lucky it didn't end in an incident, that, to be honest. So Roland's come out on a set of mediums. Yeah, I think that is just pure unbridled frustration. Jez has had to pit again for another wing change. So, oh dear. Sorry, Jamie.
Good. Yep.
A Jackson saying Pushkar will find something to ticket against Matt. Not sure what that's about, but whatever. Anyway, we've now got a very decent three-way fight for 4th place at the moment. BX is still holding off Chris, but now Constant Ryan's in the mix as well, just behind Sinful Chris. And Constant Ryan will be looking for a good result. He's been up there.
Roll hard. Made the move on
third dinner.
He's actually done it one.
He's made it stick, and he's up to 9th place on those medium tyres. I think those softs are starting to maybe just cry uncle a little bit.
Yep.
Rashi has pitted, and he's gone out to another set of softs. That's an interesting call. Although he was on mediums, wasn't he? So that must be for wing damage reparation.
Or he's trying to use the softs to go as quick as possible before the rain comes.
Could be. Meanwhile, the action is still very hot between BX and Chris, with Constant Ryan and Stracker waiting in the wings. Chris is hounding that Red Bull, trying to force an error out of him, but BX is known as a very staunch defender, as Matt 45 comes into the pits. So what does the Haas put on? He made his softs work very well, it has to be said. Now what's he going to go on? It is medium compound tyres for the Haas driver. Now what kind of gaps is he going to slot into? I think... Ooh... Pushkar, meanwhile, has found himself behind Sebastian and Sambo. Sambo's still running on those hards that he pitted over on lap 2. Or lap 1. And Matt 45, oh dear, he's come out right into this battle with Pushkar. So Pushkar's made an undercut work very well there, it has to be said. But he's right in the thick of it with him. And they've got Sebastian. Oh, they're side by side through turn 3. And oh, Pushkar's been forced a bit wide there by Matt 45. Oh... Very ballsy move, and look at Matt 45, is he having to go at Sambo as well? He is! And he's got the move done, has he? Yes, he has. Sambo has no defence. And there's a safety car deployed. Safety car has been deployed. And what was that for?
Oh.
I think there might have been an...
I have no idea.
Has been an incident between Jezza and Norris? I'm not sure what's happened there. We have a safety car, and look at everyone's reacting quickly now. BX is in, Chris is in, Constant Ryan is in, Strack is in, Cornish Pirate's in, Third Dinner's coming in, Rollhard stays out.
Norris has no front wing.
So that might be the reason. Yeah, there's bits of front wing littered all over the back, the pit straight, I should say. So Matt 45 obviously stays out because he made his pit stop. He thankfully has not lost position. Sambo stays out as well, and he's up to 5th now on those hards. Oh, this is going to mix up things a little bit. Oh, I tell you what, I know who this has hurt most. Although I think he might get away with it because of the safety car not catching him too badly. But Progeny and Harrison are... This has hurt them because they have been caught out basically by that. Let's see where they come in, because I presume both of them are going to pit now.
Yep, Bill Progeny's coming into the pits now.
I'll tell you what, do you know who else has lost out? Look at Sinful Chris, down in 13th, behind Constant Ryan and Stracker. Yeah. He's been held up in the pits somewhere there, so Chris has lost out big time there. He's down in 13th place. So, so Harrison has stayed out. That's an interesting call. Progeny pits. Now, I think that's a mistake on Harrison's part, because Rollhard lad's coming out as well. I think Harrison has made a grave error here, because Progeny has basically only lost 1 position. And he's on a completely fresh set of mediums. Meanwhile, Rollhard has pitted. So where's he going to come out? Well, this is going to be close, actually. I think he's going to come out 8th. Yeah, he's going to come out 8th place.
Yeah.
Just behind Pushkar.
Oh, he's on softs.
Jezza has been disqualified from the session for ignoring yellow flags. Meanwhile, I think Norris has had enough and just retired. So that's unfortunate for Norris.
In the pits. Jezza came up to the safety car, and everybody who follows F1 knows if the safety car has a green light on, that means overtake, because you're obviously a lap down. Yeah. That's what happened to Jezza. He overtook the safety car, and I think it's disqualified him from the game for ignoring the yellow flag and overtaking the safety car.
Well, he hasn't got rid of his car yet, which I find weird.
Nope, it's still on track.
What's going on there? So yeah, I think Harrison has made a bit of a strategical error here.
Yeah.
Because he's now on those set of mediums that have done 15 laps, and he's got Bull Progeny on a fresh set, Matt 45 on a near enough fresh set. Sebastian has stayed out, as has Sambo. So they're on worn tyres as well, but honestly, they have nothing to lose at this point, because I think they were towards the back anyway. They've gained some massive grid position. This is going to make for a very tasty restart with BX on a set of soft. BX is in a very good position here, it has to be said. On those soft tyres, very fresh, relatively anyway. Rollhard's gained as well. He's jumped Constant Ryan, who's on a set of hards. Stracker's coming to the pits again. Stracker's in the pits again. He's on a set of mediums now, but he's dropped all the way down to, well, what's effectively last now, if Jezza has indeed been disqualified, although he's still going very quick. I'm not quite sure what's happened with Jezza. Oh, yeah, but apparently there is, according to... there's been a collision somewhere there. There's been 5-second penalties dashed everywhere. According to Andrew, apparently it's rain in 5 minutes, so maybe Harrison is just trying to wait it out.
Yeah.
But the problem is...
Ryan's made a huge mistake.
Going on to the hards. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, fair play to Sambo. I think Sambo's made a good call here. Going on to those hards right at the start. And the safety car's coming in. Now, this is going to be interesting. When is it? We don't know when the rain's coming as commentators. We have no idea.
Nope.
We can only go by... Apparently it's Aaron's Jeff that said it. We can only go by what we hear from the chat. So if rain is coming, Harrison will be praying it comes quick. Yeah. Harrison will be praying it comes quick, as will Sebastian. Matt 45 somehow has got... Oh no, Sebastian has got past Sambo's Matt 45 somehow. I'm not quite sure how that happened. 5-second penalty for Chris for a severe hit on Roland as well. So, and we are underway again though, and look at Bull Progeny is hounding Harrison, and Matt 45 has got right back past Sebastian. Perhaps Sebastian let him back past, knowing that something hadn't quite gone right. So, but look at Sambo, he's being hounded by the Red Bull and Pushkar Xbox. But he's defending as hard as he can, and Pushkar's been forced wide because of it. And BX slots through, as does Rollhard. Or has Rollhard got through? I think he's side by side. Yes, Rollhard is through, and BX easily dispatches of Sambo down the straight. I think on those, he's on a much fresher and much faster set of tyres. But Sambo has kept Pushkar at bay. So BX has really, really gained from that, and Pushkar's lost out. Meanwhile, Harrison is still just about holding Prodigy behind him, but I don't know how long it can last. Meanwhile, Cornish Pirate and Rollhard Lad going side by side. What action that was! Rollhard Lad just holds on to his 8th place, but Cornish Pirate has got the bit between his teeth. There's a big queue of cars lining up behind Sambo. But where's the rain? We know it's coming, but when? Where? And how? How hard is it going to be? Pushkar Xbox down into the first corner. He gets the move done on Sambo. Oh, Sambo's forced wide, but he isn't giving in. Look at Rollhard sneaking past both of them. But Pushkar got contact with the Red Bull. And Cornish Pirate's got past Sambo as well. Sambo is dropping, as I expected he might do. He's on a very worn, very slow set. Has been tagged. There's been contact. Massive contact in turn 3. It was Rashi apparently. I didn't see who it was. I was on board with Sambo at the time. Oh my god, what happened there? There's been contact all over the place. There's absolute chaos going on in the midfield at the moment. Constant Ryan's getting through on those hards. Roland is now trying to go side by side with Sambo. I don't know who to watch. What's going on? Strachan, Sinful, Chris are now fighting. Does Chris have damage on his wing yet? No, he doesn't. So Chris has just been caught out somewhere. Oh, there's a bit of contact between Roland and Strachan there. It's all kicking off here. Lap 19 like XFI. Oh my god. It's absolute chaos.
Just.
I don't.
Was, that turn 2 incident, Rashi was fighting Roland, and I think he missed his braking point, and he.
Oh, Roland had to take evasive action of Strachan. Very well dodged, Roland, but he has lost the position to Chris in doing so.
Yeah.
Oh, look what a move that was. Very well dodged, Roland.
Rashi hasn't pit.
Sambo has been forced wide. Sambo is dropping like a stone because of his very worn tyres. He doesn't hold his teammate up good, which is good of him. But now he's got Roland behind him as well. And meanwhile, there's battle going on between Grimdog and Rashi for 11th place. Third Dinner and Constant Ryan have been able to detach themselves a bit. And meanwhile, there's a big queue of cars lining up behind Sebastian 247. The top 3 have got away. Matt 45's had a fantastic restart to get away from Sebastian, and he's trying to close in on Bull Prodigy, who meanwhile is still hounding Harrison. What's happened?
What? Rashi's just. Oh, Rashi's out. He's just hit the wall.
He's hit at the wall, and the safety car is out again. Safety car out again.
Took the second last corner and basically cut across the grass when Chris was trying to overtake him. Came back across, tapped Chris and spun his car and went straight into the wall.
Jesus Christ. I have no idea what happened there. I just caught the Toro Rosso going into the wall. I was watching Prodigy to see if he was going to make a move on Harrison, but we didn't get the chance. The safety car is out again. But what do people do now? Because when is the rain coming? I can't see any rain yet. I don't think it's hit us yet. So are people going to...
cars still in this?
There are still 17 cars still in this somehow. I've no idea how. Oh god, I'm getting worn out just watching this. I don't want to think what's going on. And A. Jackson saying this is a demolition derby, not a Grand Prix. I would have to disagree. The action has been absolutely fantastic to watch.
Yes. It's just a couple of things that are happening on track, but I think the track's
when you're
getting slippy now.
The track's getting slippier. Drive-through penalty for Grimdog for speeding under the safety car. That's unfortunate. So Harrison has now pit. He's on a set of softs. Just makes you think maybe he should have done that earlier because he's now going to drop down the field. But there are a lot of other drivers pitting as well. Amazingly, Sambo's still not pitting. He's now on 20 lap old. He is. Jezza is still in this, so
that message.
Now this is a bold call. Look at Roland. He has gone onto a set of intermediate tyres. That is a very, very ballsy call by Roland, but I suppose in his situation he didn't have a lot to lose, I suppose. Very ballsy call. He's going to need... And I tell you what, look at their streaks.
Yep.
This could be an absolute blinder by Roland here. This could be a race-making move by Ronan. He has to catch the back though before they get to the pits, and hopefully Jezza isn't going to do anything to him because, oh my God, Roland may have called this absolutely beautifully. Because I don't think the safety car is going to come in yet. It definitely is not. Now what's going to happen? Is anyone going to peel into the pits? Let's have a look. Progeny stays out. Matt 45 stays out. Look at Rohard. Is he thinking about? No, he thought about it. Didn't. But look, BX is coming in. So is Grimdog. Grimdog's coming in, but well, he can't serve a drive-through, so this must be for tyres. Stracker's in. Chris is in as well. As is Jezza as well.
I think Roland's nailed this because he's going to get in front.
He has absolutely called this beautifully, has Roland. He's passed every single one of them easily. He is on the back of the grid. But surely everyone else is going to have to follow suit and put the inters on. Roland's just got to take it very.
Roland the lead.
Roland could effectively be leading this Grand Prix.
Yep.
A 10-second time penalty for Sambo for exceeding track limits, which is not what he needs to see.
Get removed.
It could be get removed, yeah, because it's a bit weird in the.
Yep. A constant Ryan and third dinners changing places under the safety car. That's not a good idea.
No, definitely not. So now, is the safety car going to come in? Is the track wet enough for the inters though? We can't tell. We're not going to have it. We don't have a Jeff in our ears telling us when it's time for inters. So the question is, has Roland got this right?
I don't see any spray, so I'm thinking it's probably on the teetering on the edge of being. Well, it's definitely going to be.
Well, I'll tell you what. The safety car's staying out for another lap. So the longer the safety car stays out, the more likely this is going to help the inter drivers. And we do have a driver coming in. It's Pushkar. Pushkar's coming in for a set of intermediates. Perhaps wanting to get the damage out of the way quicker. 5-second time penalty for Roll Hard Lad. Severe collision with Cornish Pirate. Oh my God, I'm losing. And we've also got Chris is in for some reason. What's Chris in for? He's gone back on. He's gone back onto slicks. Chris has gone back onto another set of slick tyres. So is the intercool not the right? Yeah, is this not? Is the inters not going to be enough?
Oh, Andrew's put drives. Jeff saying drives are the best.
Oh my God. So who's got this right and who's got this wrong? It's hard to say at this point. 5-second time penalty for Pushkar exceeding track limits. I'm not sure what has happened there. So who has got this right? Who has got this wrong? And are we going to have... I think we could have some surprise podium contenders here.
Yep. I definitely think we will have...
This has been an absolute mad Grand Prix.
Yep.
The safety car is in. The safety car's coming in this lap. And look at Sebastian and Sambo. They've been on their tyres for 22 laps.
Yep.
That is absolutely crazy. If their tyres aren't dead by now, I don't know how they're holding on to them. So, Bull Progeny will lead the formation lap. Ending now. Bull Progeny has gone for it. He's got away well. Now, we need to see. And we've got some drivers coming in.
Sebastian's in.
Sebastian and Cornish Pirates in. Sambo's in. So, what tyres are going on these guys? There's some inters going on for a Mercedes, I think. So Harrison, Rollhard, Matt 45 and Progeny have stayed out.
Roland's up to 5th.
He's now up to 5th on those intermediate tyres. No, I think no matter what happens, I think he has made an goal. And everyone has gone onto intermediate tyres. Every single one of them who pitted. Oh, and Grimdog's hit the wall! Grimdog hit the wall. Sebastian couldn't avoid him. Oh, Grimdog has made a grievous error and damaged Sebastian's chances as well. Oh dear, oh dear. Well, that's not going to please Sebastian, who was running third at one point. Now we need to see. I mean, look at the top 4. Roland's nowhere near them.
Yeah.
And look at Chris as well. He's pushing his way past Jezza. I don't think the Inters are ready yet. It's raining, but I don't think it's hard enough. It's tricky, but Roland is making no progress on Harrison. Harrison's in the pits. So Harrison pits now. Is this for Inters as well? This would be an interesting call if it is. Let's have a look. It is. Intermediate tyres going on, so maybe the rain is going to get heavier. There's more yellow flag. It's Grimdogs in the wall. Has to avoid Cornish Pirate as well. So Harrison has gone onto the Inters. He's come out in 10th position, well clear of everyone else. I can't tell who's getting this right and who's getting this wrong, because at the moment, at least the dry seen the better tyre, but because Roland's not making any progress on Map 45, and Map 45 meanwhile has got past Roll Hard Lad. In fact, I think those two are battling hard at this point. Ooh.
Chris almost close behind Chris. Oh, he's actually
I'll tell you what.
Goes down the inside.
I'm just wondering. I'm thinking, look at Roland. He's starting to close in. I think the Inters might be the tyre to be on now. I think now the tyres. I think Chris has made an absolute mistake and a half by coming back in for softs.
They're in.
And yeah, all 3 in. Progeny, Map 45 and Roll Hard Lad. That means Roland is going to take the lead of the Grand Prix with Stracker right behind him in 2nd. And Jezza 3rd. Who thought we were going to say that?
Wow.
What is this Grand Prix? What is going on? The crossover point has happened. Roland now leads from Stracker. Jezza 3rd. 1.6 seconds down the road. So this is effectively the battle for the lead. And Stracker... The thing to remember as well, there's no DRS in the wet conditions for obvious safety reasons. So will Stracker even be able to make a move? So Sinful Chris has come into the pits again. He's come out in 10th position behind 3rd Dinner. Just ahead of Constant Ryan. There's another yellow flag. There's another Renault off. It's Grimdog again. Because Grimdog's still on. Oh, he's still on dries when he shouldn't be. He's got to be careful. The lead cars. I can't believe I'm saying it. The lead Mercedes car is coming round towards it.
Yeah. Roland has 3 penalties. Stracker has 3 penalties. Jezza has 2 penalties.
What about BX?
Yeah.
Because like I said, I did say I think penalties could be very crucial. None. BX has no penalties. So at the moment... Oh, what's going on with Grimdog? At the moment, then, it could be BX that's looking on course to win this Grand Prix, as Stracker is making a move on Roland for the at least the current lead of the Grand Prix, but Roland is defending. Side by side through the first corner, 3 second time penalty for Progeny. So as it stands at the moment, if you're saying BX has no penalties, he is on course to win this Grand Prix.
Yep.
Oh my God!
He definitely has.
Okay, we can't be calling who's going to win this at the moment because I don't know. And I wouldn't completely discount Harrison either, down in 6th place, but he is going to be absolutely hounding though. I don't know what Grimdog is doing at this point. He's still out there on...
Harrison has no penalties, but Pushcard does. So it looks like BX and Harrison could be on the podium for the end of this race.
It could be. But so the question is, who is going to join them between Stracker, Roland and Jezza? All of a sudden, Jezza, I think Jezza was almost a lap down at one point. All of a sudden, he looks on course to possibly take a podium in this race. This race has been absolutely mad. This has been the absolute most bonkers race I have commentated on in my short commentating career. And Jezza's just gone wide as well, so BX is now hounding the Williams. Is he going to think of a move? I think surely BX is going to play a safe game here. Surely he knows what the situation is. Meanwhile, Stracker, after getting past Roland, is starting to stretch his advantage. And he needs to now. Stracker needs to pull out as much of a gap as he can. There's 7 laps to go, I think. No, 7.5 laps to go. I apologise. Grimdog is still making his way very slowly around the track. I don't know what he's doing. Yeah, I don't know what the Renault driver's doing at this point. He's a lap down. And BX has got the move done on Jezza. BX has passed Jezza into the podium positions. Definite now. But Jezza's trying to fight back. Ooh, but he couldn't make it stick. Oh, if you have enjoyed this race, and I really hope you've enjoyed it as much as we have, please, give us a comment in the chat. Tell us what you've been making of it, and do give us. I mean, how more action-packed can you get than this? Give us a like on the Twitch page, the Twitter page. Oh my God, I'm losing track of what's going on right now. Facebook page.
We have 22 viewers.
I know. We're doing all right on that sense, and we still got 7 laps to go. Straka leads, Roland second, but Roland's gone very wide. He's struggling all of a sudden, and BX will smell the blood. And will BX go into the lead? Roland takes the defensive line, and I think BX has gone wide.
Yep.
And Roland holds on to second. And I'll tell you what, all of this is helping Straka. He's now 2.2 seconds ahead of these two. BX needs to dispatch him quickly. Roland goes defensive again. Even in the rain, they're still battling hard. Roland's... Oh, they're still side by side. And Jezza's just right behind him as well. Pushkar's catching him as well. Roland, has BX got the inside line? Has he got the move done? No, they're still side by side. And has he got done? I think BX finally gets the move done. Yes, he does. Finally moves up to second place. And look at Jezza. Now Jezza's having a go. I'm going to lose my voice.
Yeah, he's done it.
And he's got the move done. He's into third position. Oh, I'm going to faint. And have 3 second time penalty for Harrison. That could cost him later on. We'll have to see how that... I think
he's pushing like mad.
He is pushing like mad, and you can't blame him. I tell you what, I think one person who must be absolutely disappointed at the moment is Bull Progeny. He's been pretty much up the front the whole race, and all of a sudden the rain's hit him, and he hasn't got the strategy call right at all. He's now down in 8th. He should still score some points, but I think he's going to be bitterly disappointed with this no matter what. But again, we have to see what the penalty situation does to the order at the end.
Yeah.
But we still got 5.5 laps to go. And Straka now has
Sambo's all over the back of Dom as well.
Yes, he is.
He's about to pass on.
This is for 14th place.
Oh, Dom's on the grass.
Dom's on the grass. Not a good idea in the normal dry conditions. Absolutely suicidal in the wet. And Dom's almost come to a complete standstill at that corner, but he has got round, and Sambo's got the position done. Moves up to 14th place, but they're well off for Cornish Pirate in 13th. I think there's going to be a lot of drivers who could feel that they could have done better than they are doing here, because even the likes of... I think Rollhard Lads was in a podium position at one point. Matt 45 was. Constant Ryan was on the fringes. Sebastian was on the fringes, and he's currently the last driver. Oh... I need a...
Right now, as it stands, BX is the
net leader.
He's getting 9 places.
He is. Let's have a look at that, as you say.
Cornish. Cornish is off, and he's into the wall.
Oh my God.
Yep, he's lost his front wing.
Cornish has gone into the wall. That's not good news for the Mercedes. Is it? Virtual safety car deployed.
Yep.
So you've got another VSC. Make sure...
help the tyres.
Absolutely, definitely. So, what was I going to look at? Oh yeah, I was going to look at the positions gained. Let's have a quick look at that. You're right, 9 positions gained by BX. Third Dinner's had a good race as well. He's up 8 positions. Remember, he didn't even qualify. And at the moment, he's looking... He's going to have to defend like hell from Constant Ryan behind him, but he's on the fringes of points. So, great race by Third Dinner in the Haas.
Harrison's caught the back of Pushkar and Roland as well, so this could be...
This could be very, very tasty. A very tasty last 4 laps. But the virtual safety car is holding us off it. Now when's it going to come in? As I'm watching Harrison go around the penultimate corner. Whoever gets this right could get a little bit of a boost in. The safety car is in. Harrison's been caught out there because he was right on the corner. So he has lost a bit of time there because of that. But look at this four-way battle going on. Roland, Jezza, BX and Pushkar. Straka is trying to push ahead as far as he can to mitigate the damage his penalties could cause him later on. I honestly, I don't know who could win this. I'm not even going to look at the penalty situation. I don't want to know. Let's see who gets to the end first, because there's still a few laps to go. Grimdog ruined the race.
Actually catching Cornish. Cornish is in the pits.
Yeah.
Oh, Cornish has just hit the wall, leaving the pits.
Oh dear. Fair play to Grimdog. He's just put an apology to Sebastian in the chat for hitting the wall. You know, that's a good sign of a driver who can acknowledge his mistakes. Yeah, well done, unlucky Grimdog. And yeah, a good driver is one that can acknowledge when he's fucked up. So well done. So Cornish is in the pits again for another set.
Next week.
There is always next week. It is, what did I say was next week? It was Belgium next week. Yep. So we go from the shortest track, lap time wise in the calendar, to the longest. So, I tell you what, if Belgium's anything like what this has been, I'm going to need that air bottle that we were joking about. Harrison has got past Pushkar, but he's gone wide onto the grass in doing so. So Pushkar's got the place back. That shows you how hard Harrison is pushing. He wants that position, but he can't get it there. He's going to have to just tuck in. We got a yellow flag in sectors 1 and 2. I don't know who it's for. Now it's only sector.
I think it was Sebastian.
Could be. I'm not sure, but
I think it was off.
It's either that or it might be Cornish. It could be Cornish Pirate as well, because Cornish Pirate is a lapped car and he's in the mix of all these other cars. And Harrison is trying to go around the outside of Pushkar. Has he got it moved on? Yes, he has. And Pushkar spun. Pushkar has spun out. I wonder, was there contact there between him and Harrison? I'm not sure if there was or not. I didn't see. But he's dropped down to 9th place.
He might have lost it.
He's dropped to 9th because of it. And he spun again.
He spun again.
His tyres must be cooked and he's got no grip because of it. Oh, Pushkar, I'm so sorry, man. You were having such a good race, and all of a sudden, Straka's had a bit of a wobble as well. Going through the first corner. Look,
it stopped raining.
That'll be why then. People are getting caught out by the lack of grip, and there's people coming into the pits. I suppose there's some people maybe thinking, what have they got to lose at this point? But yes, the rain has stopped. So just as suddenly as it began, the rain stopped. So let's have a look at the tyres, see what people are going on. Sinful Chris has put a pair of softs on. He's come out in 12th. I don't know. I think the points are going to be a bit too hard for him here, depending on penalties, of course. Again, now we know the dries are the right tyre, but there's only 2 cars on them, and only one of them could be even slightly threatening. So Sinful Chris, I wonder if Sinful Chris might be going for fastest lap here.
It's possible.
But the problem is he has to hope that he can get into the top 10 by penalties. Otherwise his fastest lap won't matter. Meanwhile, I think everyone is going to be taking it very, very carefully now on these intermediates, because we're on the final lap. I have no idea who's going to win this race now. I don't know what the penalty situation is. I haven't looked at it. I'm going to see. BX goes very wide through turn 1. That will help Straka out a little bit.
Yep.
But BX needs to be careful. He could be on course to win one of the craziest races I have ever had the pleasure to call. And Harrison and Roland are going side by side. Harrison's got the move done on Roland. He drops to 5th position. So Harrison now up to 4th. But we've got to see what the penalty's saying. Chris is charging for the field. He's already passed Pushkar Xbox and up to 11th place. But I don't know if he's going to catch Rollhard, because Rollhard is racing with Constant Ryan. Even in these drying conditions, he's not giving in. And Ferdinand is going very wide as well. Oh, I hate to turn away from this, but I'm going to have to look at the front. I need to see who wins this. As Straka's coming around the final corner. I don't know who's going to win as the checkered flag comes out. Straka takes it first. What about BX? BX comes through first. And I think it is BXTN90 wins the Austrian Grand Prix.
Oh, Matt's just got a...
And Matt 45 stolen the podium of Straka as well. Oh my god. Straka 4th, Jezza 5th, Prochny's taken 6th off Roland. Roland, though, has still done a fantastic job to finish 7th. Rohan's crashed right at the last.
Yeah, I think he actually... Oh, no, he's not. He's been... Oh,
he didn't cross the line, so Chris did get into the points. Third dinner, great result for him from 18th on the grid, finishes 9th. Roland did a great job as well, but well done to BXTN90. No penalties, and that's clearly what's won him this Grand Prix in an absolute mental Grand Prix. I'm going to have to go get those 3 in now because I need to hear from all 3 of them right away, and I need to calm down as well. I think my voice is going to be absolutely shot by the end of this. Have you got Matt 45? Because I don't think I have him.
I will invite him right now.
As the podium is sprayed, I need to get the national anthems up. Oh my god. I'm definitely gonna be craving my Ice Fanta in a minute. BX is left, presumably because he can't hear us. He'll be back in a second, I think. Oh, Jesus. As there's a migration of hosts, so it is BXTN90 who takes the win, with Harrison claiming 2nd place and Matt 45 3rd after one of the most mental races I have ever called in my very short commentating career. And in celebration, we will have the Irish and Austrian national anthems. And there you have it. Sorry, I'm still having to catch my breath after all of that. So you have done Austria and Red Bull proud. Well done to our race winner, who is here with us right now, BXTN90. Congratulations. What a race.
Oh my god, that was insane. That was just every kind of emotion packed into a really intense 45 minutes.
I don't think you could have said it any better than that. So obviously you qualified in 11th. You didn't quite make into Q3 on the medium tyres. So going into this race, what were your expectations? What were you hoping to achieve?
Well, I was gutted that I didn't make it through to Q3, but being in 11th isn't the worst because obviously you got your fresh tyres. But I knew that I should have been in Q3. Therefore, there were some slower drivers in front, so I was hoping to make up some places pretty quickly, which didn't quite work. I made some good moves in the first stint, all right, and then the safety car came out, and it was sort of 5-6 laps before I wanted to, but it was pretty much a free stop, so I had to take it, and it was just taking a risk in by jumping onto softs, just waiting for the rain, just in case. Sure enough, all hell broke loose.
So obviously, what did it feel like when that rain came out? Like, because we were trying to work out, like, was it inters yet? Was it dries yet? Like, how was it feeling? Like, what was the rumblings going on, like, in the chat? Because obviously, I presume you were in the chat with everyone else.
It was exactly the same as you were saying in the comments. You were going, is it raining? Is it not raining? No, it is. Put on your inches. No, don't put them on. Take them off. But definitely time for sticks. And it was backwards and forwards. And you saw half of us dived in and threw them on. Now I had wing damage from the previous safety car restart, so I was running with an orange wing for a while. But then I had to pit just to stick them on. I was like, I have to take the risk. And do you know what? I upped my wing by 1, and it felt pretty stable. It really wasn't entered when I put them on, but 2 laps in, 3 laps in, suddenly all the gains the soft runners had just disappeared in half a lap, and that was it then.
Yeah, we did notice that. So I'm just having a look at the standings. You will now, on top of your 15 points, that result will see you. I think because I think Chris finished like 9th, I think, didn't he? So he scored 2 points.
It was 10th.
10th. So I think you're going to jump into 2nd place. I think Stracker was 5th, wasn't he? So he's going to take Stracker's going to take the lead of the championship, but you're going to jump into 2nd place now. So you've pretty much put yourself right into contention now. So how are you going to move forward now? Obviously, Belgium is the next Grand Prix. So are you going to hope for more races like this?
Oh, definitely. But Belgium's not my strongest track. But again, just take it slow and steady. That's how I got through tonight. It was about not racking up the penalties, and it'll be the same in Spa as well, you know. So it's just about keeping a clear head and looking in front of you.
Fair enough, and congratulations once again on winning. I think I've said it a couple of times already. One of the most insane races I've ever called in my short commentary
Actually,
career.
a big mention while I'm here. A big mention to Jezza, because I don't know what he was doing for the first 3 quarters of the race, but as soon as that rain came down, the boy was unstoppable. He was on me like.
I don't get how it works. He can't drive in the dry, but as soon as it rains, he can drive like a master. I don't know how that works.
He had cracking pace. Cheers anyway.
Yeah, well done to Jezza. Yeah, you were unlucky not to be on the podium, to be fair. We will move on to our 2nd place driver, Harrison. Well, you were definitely in the wars all over the place there, weren't you?
Yes, I was.
So obviously in the first stage of the Grand Prix, you were basically trying to hound Progeny. Obviously, he was on the different tyre strategy at the time. But then obviously the safety cars kept coming in. Must have been confusing because you obviously didn't know what you were going to do. How did you adapt to like the constant safety cars? Like, what was your plan going forward with each one?
Well, first off, I think there's been a game update with the tyre wear on this track, because when I've done this track previously, the softs have only lasted 10 laps. But when I looked on the strategy, they lasted much longer than that now. So that put me back, because I knew he would have more pace further on into the race. But the reason I went the medium strategy is because I'd seen the rain at the end, and I could possibly try and make my mediums last to the rain. But the first safety car didn't help me that well, because Progeny managed to pit and come up behind me. But then once that went, I managed to keep in front of him till the following safety car, where I managed to pit on the softs. And then as soon as I came out the pits, it started raining.
Yeah, did you think you'd made a mistake at that point then?
The amount of wet dry races I've had, it's I could have said 50-50 to that. I was probably 50% in the wrong, 50% in the right, because I've had races where it's like started raining, and it's like in the middle of the race and you won't even touch inters at the end until like after the race is finished. But like, after the safety car ended, I feel the car sliding underneath me more as when I went around the track, and I knew it was time printers, even without the strategy coming up on the screen. So I pitted and managed to overcut Bojane and Matt, and come up behind the 5 guys that were in front of me at the time. Managed to catch up to one of the Red Bulls and Roland. And I didn't know about the time penalties position at the time. I knew I had 1 3-second penalty. But I'm overall happy with the P2.
Yeah, what was those last few laps like for you? Because Will pointed out he thinks you must have been pushing like absolute crazy. Was that basically what you were doing? Were you literally just like absolute full out attack mode for those last few laps?
Well, with me being a no traction user, and because I was using a dry setup, the rear wing is quite low. So for me, for traction was quite hard to get the traction on. But I was giving it everything, trying to use like different ERS modes to see where I could get best traction, and same with fuel. And I managed to get past. I did have a small tag with Roland. But I had the corner, I was in head.
Yeah.
And I did leave him space. I don't know what happened there.
Well, obviously you haven't had the best of starts to the rebooted season. This is actually your first points finish of the season. So is this basically the start of your season as far as you're concerned? Are you hoping that this is going to set the trend going on?
It is technically, but I take every race as it comes. I don't think about like 3 races ahead until it comes up after the following race.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Belgium, the next week, I literally just did a few weeks ago in my other league on a Sunday, so I'm probably a bit pacey right now.
Well, we'll be looking forward to seeing how pacey you are. Sadly, we haven't been able to get our 3rd place driver, Matt 45, in. So instead, I'll pass it over to you, Will. Do you have any questions for BX on Housen or any comments at all?
No questions. Just congrats on the win for BX and the 2nd place for Harrison. It was an unbelievable race to watch.
Yep.
And
I can't wait to
more
watch it back.
please.
I think even I don't usually like hearing my own voice, but even I'm gonna have to watch this one back. I think because oh my god.
Yeah, me too. On mute maybe for my voice.
Yeah, maybe.
Can I just add one thing? If that's alright.
Yeah, go on.
When I was like when the rain came, I didn't know actually BX was at the front, so I just want to give my congratulations to him for his win at Austria today.
Cheers, man.
Some good sportsmanship there. That's definitely what we like to see here at Supreme Formula Racing. So yeah, I think we will wrap up there, since I sadly don't think we're going to get Matt 45 in. I believe Will has already tried. So yeah, don't forget, if you haven't already, and why haven't you after watching that race, please give the Twitch channel a like. Go like us on Facebook at Supreme Formula Racing, and our Twitter handle at SFR_F1. We do have a YouTube channel. I will be uploading this onto YouTube as soon as the stream ends. And by Housen. And yeah, next week we will be at Belgium. You don't have to worry about me missing it or anything, because I'm not in work for a while. So I will be there alongside, hopefully, again, BigWill.
Yep, I'll be there.
Fantastic. So we will see you next week for what is hopefully just as an amazing race as tonight was. And we will see you for the Belgian Grand Prix next week. Goodbye for now.